For this tutorial, we will be making a slightly bigger version than this one. This one is just a mini wallet version. I am going to be adding 4 more cords to the pattern to make a slightly larger, longer version, but it will all be the exact same process. If you wanted to make the smaller one, I will give you all the details for that at the end of the video. For this tutorial, I am going to be using a fabric yarn from Ganxxet. This is very stretchy material. You will need 18 cords
at 85 inches,
1 cord 45 inches, and scissors. I'm also going to be using a crochet hook to weave in the ends. Starting with your 1 cord you have at 45 inches, you're going to fold it in half evenly. I am going to be using a macrame board to work on this. If you don't have a macrame board or anything that can hold your cords through the grooves, tape will work just fine. So once you fold it in half, I'm going to work it this way. I'm going to know that my half is here in the center. And then I'm just going to place, this board's amazing because you can just place your cords through this and it will stay. And again, you'll notice this is very stretchy. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit just to keep it there. So this is my center point, and we are going to be attaching our cords, tying a lark's head knot on this base. With your 18 cords that you have cut, you're going to fold them in half and attach all of them across, leaving the same amount of space on the ends, tying a lark's head knot. So fold it in half, and I'm going to put it through the top, over the top, and pull the cords through that loop and tighten it. And you're going to repeat that exact same process until you have all 18 of your cords attached to the top. Again, this is very stretchy. So as you're working with it, I suggest when you pull it through, go ahead and start to tighten it, and then tighten each individual cord. That way they are on there very snug-like. So repeat until you have all 18 cords attached, leaving the same amount of space on the ends. And 18. This is what it will look like once you have all 18 cords attached. Next, we are going to tie a square knot. Start by gathering the first 4 cords on your left, and you will tie a square knot. So take your furthest right 4th cord, bring it over your center 2 filler cords, underneath your furthest left. The left cord's going to go around your center fillers through that loop on the right, and using the outside cords, pull tight to the base. Finish your knot by taking the left side over the fillers, behind your right then goes around the back through that loop and pull tight. And that is what your square knot should look like. You will repeat this for a total of 9 square knots all the way across. So grab your next 4, and using those same steps, you will tie a square knot. You will continue moving over to the next 4 cords each time to tie your remaining square knots. And 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next, you're going to make an alternating square knot. So you'll leave out the first 2 cords on the left, and then grab the next 4 cords. So it'll be 1, 2 from the first square knot, and 2 from your second square knot. And you will repeat by tying another square knot. Make sure it's right up against your bottom square knot, your first row. And then you're going to repeat the exact same thing for this second row, move over to the next 4 cords. You will always have 2 cords from one square knot, 2 cords from the other. And this time you will have a total of 8 square knots for your second row. So continue all the way across. And 8. So you have your first row of 9 square knots, and then your second row is alternating square knots at 8. And you're going to repeat this exact same process. We'll do approximately 23 rows of alternating square knots. So for your third row, you always start with the furthest cords on the left and start your square knot. And you will then tie 9 square knots all the way across. And once you get all the way across for your next row, you will then do 8 alternating square knots. So again, you'll repeat the pattern of 9 square knots for one row, 8 square knots for the other, 9 for the other, and continue all the way down. Here's what it will look like when you are at row 20, so you can always stretch it out a little, make sure that it's even. I am going to complete a few more rows before we start our decreasing alternating square knot. So this is row 20. We're going to do 21, 22, and 23. So go ahead and add 3 more rows and we will be back. Here is what it's going to look like after you have completed 23 rows. So you should end with the 9 square knots at the bottom. At this point, you know, you can tell that it's stretchy. I just kind of like to make sure that it's even. Give it a little stretch. And now we're going to start working on decreasing alternating square knots. So from here on your next row, row 24, you are going to do the same thing you would previously and tie 8 square knots across. And once you're done with your 8 square knots across, you're just going to slowly decrease them each row to create that triangular peak. And 8. So that is 8. Now you're going to decrease. So you'll get rid of the 4 to the left and grab the next 2 between your square knots, and 2 from this square knot and 2 from your next square knot, and tie another square knot. So you will have 7 in your next row. So 1, and for this row you will then have 7 square knots, and you're going to repeat that. So the next row will have 6, 5, 4, 3, and all the way down till you have 1. So that row has 7, and then once you get down to the next row, again, find your first knot where you tied at that beginning row. Leave out the cords, grab 2 from that square knot, 2 from the one to the right, and start your next row. And you will continue this until you get all the way down to 1. With each row, you'll gradually keep 2 more cords out. So now we are working on 6, and continue until you get to 1. And 6 in that row. Next, we'll start creating row 5. And 5. Next row to tie 4. And 4. Now for row 3. 3, now 2, and 1 for your final square knot at the end. And this is what it should look like. Next, take your scissors and you're going to trim. I like to leave around 2 inches or so. That way you're going to weave these in, but you just want enough to be able to weave. So go ahead and trim about 2 inches left. And the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Take your cords that you had out. And you're going to fold it forward. So here's where I keep the square knots. Fold it forward to match up with your row before, your last row before you did your alternating square knots. So you'll match it up. And you'll notice that there's these loops on each side. So here's the center one, and you're going to match up each loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops should match up with each other. This is where I'm going to take my crochet hook, and to match the loops up, then take your cord that you had kept out, and I'm going to fold it this way, stick my crochet hook through the loop, the side that the cord is on, so the cord is on the front, stick my loop through the front cord loop, then in the back one, grab that long cord, pull it through each loop, just like that. And then I'm going to put it sideways, go through the next loop to the left of it, to the loop in the back, take that cord, bring it over behind, and again, pull it through. And you're going to repeat the process. So move to the third loop, go to the back, take that cord, bring it behind over your crochet hook, and pull it through. And you will do this 5 times. So again, and this is just securing it closed. And the 5th, just like that. And then for this next one, I like to take my crochet hook and go through the back right here. So you can go right here, that loop that we went through. You're just going to go through the back side, grab it and pull it through to the inside. So here's the loop. To secure this one, we're going to bring it to the back and pull it on the inside of your bag. Just like that. And then that's where it should be. And you can see it's right here. So just to make sure that it's secure, I do like to then just kind of pick a loop that it's not going through. So you can see it's right here. I pick a loop and I pull it through. About halfway. And I'm going to just kind of tie a knot. So here's the loop, take the end and secure it with a knot. Just like that. And then if you want just reassurance, go ahead and tie an overhand knot. Just like that. And trim. And then flip it back. And there is your side of the purse. There's your side of your clutch bag that is done. And you're going to repeat the same thing on this side. So again, fold it. And you're going to match up those loops. Make sure there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take your hook, put it through the first loop on the same side that the cord is in the front of the bag. Put it through the second loop, take the cord, and pull it through. Repeat through the same second loop. Put the cord over and pull through. Again, third, And then again, put your hook through the bag, go through that loop in the back, pull the cord over, pull that cord through just halfway. I'm going to flip the bag inside out and pull it all the way through. And then again, find a loop just to secure it. So I'm going to go right through this one, pull it through halfway, then put the tail in through and tighten it with a knot. And then one more overhand knot just to secure it tight. And make sure that you're pushing the knot down as you go. Take your scissors and trim. And you can flip your bag. And there you have it. Now to weave in your ends, you're going to take your crochet hook. Here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to put my hook not through this top part of your square knot, but through the next loop. So only through one. It's going to be the bottom portion. Then I'm going to take the cord, one cord, and pull it through. Just like that. Then I'm going to repeat through that same loop, take that second cord, and pull it through. Just like that. Now for the one next to it, you're going to do the same thing. Don't go through the top one, you're going to go through the bottom one. And you're going to include that side, the next one. So you pulled two through that one. Now you're going to have the one on the left, pull it through. Again, put it through. And you're going to take the next one to the left and put it through that same spot. Just like that. And then one more for this. So these ones will have, the one to the left and the right of the very top will have 3 cords going through it. And pull it through. Just like that. So here's your top one you did, the one to the left, and then the one to the right. Again, go through not your top, but your bottom, and you're going to pull that cord to the left through. Stick it back in the loop, grab the next cord, pull through, and then back through the loop and grab that last cord that's part of that knot and pull it through. So your top one will have 2 through it, and then the one to the left and right will have 3 through it. So now you're just going to pull the rest of the cords through. So the next one, go through, pull through, go back through it, and pull the second cord through. And you'll repeat. So see how there's 2 cords for the next one, go through the bottom, and you're going to pull one through, and your second one through. And keep repeating that process all the way down. There should be 2 in the remaining square knots that you pull through. And you have completed the right side. So you're going to do the exact, this is what it will look like. You're going to do the exact same thing with the remaining cords on the left. Once you have them all pulled through, you can go ahead and trim them up. I leave about 1 centimeter or so. Make sure they are pulled tight through. Here's what it will look like so far. So what I did do is take each individual cord and just kind of tug them just to tighten it. Make sure all the knots are snug and that cord's not going to go anywhere. You could take some glue at this point, some super glue, some E6000, some fabric stiffener, hardener, and just kind of put them right here to harden it to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. But I'm not worried about this one, but it's just an extra security if you want to. So here's what it should look like so far. You can fold it. Remember, this is very stretchy, so if you want to give a little stretch, make sure you have it how you like it. And next we'll be adding a little button to the side so that way you can get in and out of your little clutch wallet. Once you have finished making your little purse clutch, what you could do is you could add a snap closure button, just like this, onto it. Or if you would like, you could also make another version like this where it has a loop and you just undo it and wrap it right back around. So I use these really cute daisy buttons, so I'll show you how I do that one. And so this is just a button, and I'm going to take a piece of jute cord and thread it through the back side of it. And then I'm going to find where I want it. So I want it at the end right here. And I'm just going to make sure that my jute cord goes between two of these cords, so that way I can tie it on there without it going anywhere. So I'm going to slip it through. So I slipped it through one spot, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Push it through another cord, that way it has something to hold on to because we're going to tie it. Just like that. So once you have that, I'm just going to, you can see that it is through, and there is some cord between it, and I'm just going to tie a knot, an overhand knot, to secure it. And a double knot. That way it just stays there, and you can trim this up. And there your button is on it. Next, I'm going to take a piece of cord. You can just use a scrap cord from one of the ones you trimmed, and I'm going to cut it down the center just because I don't want it this thick. I want it a little thinner. So go ahead and use your scissors and just cut down the center. It does not need to be perfect. Just like that. And so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to figure out where I want to lay my button. So that's how I want it to close. So right where you want it to close, you're going to then make sure you thread the end of your cord through one of those holes. And then again, don't put it through the same side. Go over to the next where there's an opening and push it through. You can use your crochet hook or any hook to get your cord through, or just push it through with your fingers. So like that, just like that. And you don't want to make it too big, but you want it enough that you're going to be able to wrap it around. It is a little stretchy, so go a little smaller than the size. So here's what I have right here. Now you're going to go onto the inside and tie a knot. Making sure that you do have your loop still, and go ahead and tie your knot. So whatever size button you use, make sure you have the knot to be a little bit, your loop to be a little bit smaller because it is going to stretch a little. So that is mine right there. And then you can just trim up the cords on the inside. So that's what it's going to look like. And now, when you close it, you just take your loop and wrap it around your button that you secured. Just like that. And so now you have a secured button, and when you want to unloop it, you just take it and unloop it. And now you can open it up. So there are multiple ways you can do this. Add snap closures, add your own button, whatever way you'd like. And here is your macrame little clutch purse. You can choose to have fun and make it with one of these cute little buttons. You can hold your phone or your cards. I love this little technique of using the button because you can personalize it with your own little craft or decor, whatever button you like. You could also choose to use a snap one. So this one just snaps on, so you do not see any of the decorative right there. Or if you'd like, you can also choose to make a wallet version. Here's my wallet size version for comparison of size. This one right here is the same exact technique, but whereas we made your large one, you use 18 cords across and you do 23 rows down before we do our decreasing square knots. And for the wallet size, you're going to cut your cord the same, but you will use 14 cords across and only make 21 rows down before you're alternating your decreasing square knots. So have fun, play around with your own little wallets, and I hope